as we move on. Make a difference, change lives as we tell our different stories. We are capable, beautiful, we are born to do great things. We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.
Hello there and a warm welcome on Able Differently. Being different doesn't mean one is an outcast, because everyone is different in one way or another.
The most important thing is how you use your uniqueness to make a difference to yourself and those around you. I am your host, Caxton Osozi.
And I'm Jane Theory.
Karibuni.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
One Kepha Anyanzwa is the founder of the Star Disability Training Center. Even though he is on a wheelchair, Anyanzwa, through his organization, has helped a lot of children with cerebral palsy. Take a look at this story.
Kepha Anyanzwa has dedicated his life to serving persons with disabilities.
I'm the director of Star Disability Training Center in Kepha West. We take care of children with cerebral palsy and those ones who are not able to be taken care of in any other place. My life has been working in helping people with special needs. When I was in APDK, I was doing the service to provide the mobility for the wheelchairs that you see on the streets. I'm the one of those people who started those wheelchairs. Then I started the motorized wheelchairs. You'll see them on the pictures, my office. And then my work has also been to empower people.
Since his youthful days, he fought for the rights of persons with disability with the help of organizations such as United Disabled Persons of Kenya, UDPK.
In UDPK, I was working there as a vice chairman of United Disabled Persons of Kenya. That is the organization that we formed to take care of, on behalf of all the other disabled people in the country, and to fight for their rights. And during that time, we really fought hard to see that they could get employment. And that is when President Moi introduced the 10% of employment for people with disabilities in every organization.
He acquired his disability at a tender age. Since then, he had to work extra hard to be at the same level with the rest of the society.
I got polio when I was 8 years old through an injection that paralyzed me, but I was working like any other person. And then I was taken to Mata Hospital, but my legs could not go back to the normal healing.
After he finished school, Kepha was employed by the Association for Physically Disabled, APDK.
I went to school in Nile Road Special School. Then from there, I also went to Kangaroo High School. Then from Kangaroo High School, I went to Embu Vocational Rehabilitation Center, where I trained as a leatherwork technician. Then I started working with an organization called APDK, the Association for the Physically Disabled of Kenya.
Later on, he went abroad to further his skills in hand control modification for persons with disability.
I got a scholarship and went to Sweden, in Stockholm, where I did study in mobility engineering, where I do modification of vehicles for people with disabilities. That is now my business, which I normally run at the moment.
His passion for the welfare of persons with disabilities saw him start the Star Disability Training Center, situated in Kepha West.
When I visited the homes of these children, I found that most of these children were hidden, and they could not access food, they could not access light, they were left on their own. And one of the biggest challenges that I found is that because of these particular children who are cerebral palsy, their parents had parted ways, because the husband of this particular mother could not stand taking care of this particular disabled child who is also cerebral palsy. So we found that most of them were living in a very, very bad poverty level. They were going without food. They were living in slums. There were no washrooms, and they were left bedridden. And most of them were dying because we would visit a child, and when you go there, a second visit or a third one, we found that the child is no more. So we said, no, this cannot continue forever. We have to look into a way whereby we have to bring these children to a place where they can be assisted, because they are also human beings like any other person. That's why STAR Disability Training Center was started in 2000.
The center takes care of children with cerebral palsy and has a capacity of almost 20 children.
The capacity of the children at the moment, we have the ones who are boarders are 10, and the ones who come here just for therapy and then go are about another 10. So the capacity is 20.
He says that it is unfortunate that he cannot be able to accommodate all the children that he wishes to be at the center due to limited resources.
Because of the capacity and the funding, we are not able to take care of those children because we don't have the funds, and the funds are not there for these particular children. We don't have enough money to take care of most of the children with special needs whom we like them to come to this institution. Otherwise, if we had money, this place would be full all the time. So we take the number of the children we can afford to take care of in a very little way.
He believes in education whichever way it comes.
The education that we have here is special education. Special education is different from the normal education system, because the education system is that the child has to go from standard 1 to 8. But here, these children are the children who are slow learners. Their brains forget very easily. Even if you tell a child that 10 plus 10 is 20, in 10 minutes' time, he has forgotten. So there's no point. So what we do is that we take that child into to train him or her to do at least artwork that can help this particular child, that when she eventually lives here, that is what can sustain her at her age, when she's not in the center during her time when she's out of this place.
At the center, he is assisted by 2 ladies who are dedicated to their work.
We have 2, the matron and the one who washes this place and cleans the whole place. These two sleep here. They sleep here. They don't have an off. They sleep here day and night. They don't have any off until after the children have gone home during the month of during their holidays. That's the time now we release them to go and rest.
As part of the training, the children also go through therapy. However, he faces challenges at the center.
We would like the public to know that this center we are more than willing to assist as many children as possible, but we also need assistance from whoever who is willing to come and give us support, so that we can also support these children. It's not their wish to be like this. It is just by bad luck that they are disabled person. Those who are lucky, that can be able to walk, that can be able to move, that can be able to do their daily activities, they should come here and help us to uplift the standard living of these children.
And in the quote of the day, we take a look at the saying that goes, necessity is the mother of all inventions. What do you think about these, Jenny?
Simply put, necessity is something that you really need in life, you know,
yeah.
in your everyday endeavors. So basically, if you lack something, you have to come up with a way of getting a substitute to help you to do whatever it is that you wanted to do. So in terms of, utilizing whatever is there, we have to be very innovative in life in order to find a substitute to meet our daily needs.
Wow, I got nothing to add. Let us take a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go too far.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently. 'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, then you are watching Able Differently, a program like no other. Remember that you can send in your comments or questions on the number 22162, starting with the capital letters AD.
Ubuntu Tribe Party went down over the weekend to celebrate the milestone the organization has come in impacting the lives of children with disabilities.
I want to welcome you all today, and it's so great to see you all. You look fantastic.
For them, they are all about caring for that next person, and this can only be done through sharing.
You can always make a difference in the little that you can do. And thank you, Tracy, for sharing that I don't have to have much to be able to share. All you need to do when you leave here, you have a friend who didn't know that Ubuntu exists. You have a friend who didn't know that Ubuntu is doing all this good. And children, you go there, they're loving on you, they're having a blast. And all we need is to make sure that they're getting the medication that they need so that we reduce the number of seizures they have a day. And most of the moms who are coming to us, they cannot even meet that need. So we need to continue to do this.
Most speakers who stood up narrated their experiences in the organization.
Could definitely go do something that wouldn't take so many hours of effort and family sacrifices, but we've done it. And it has been amazing. And we are finally at a place, so now getting to what I'm proud about with the mind, is that Ubuntu has evolved step by step, as J-Man said, one piece at a time. And it has been one piece at a time, and I'm really thankful for how Tracy started everything out about giving.
You sitting here means that you are making a difference in our kids' lives. I love this kid so much, and the first time that I went to Ubuntu, I fell in love with the place. How many people have been there? Amazing, right? Just seeing how the kids play, how they laugh, how they love is incredible.
Ubuntu not only helps children with special needs, but also their caregivers through self-sustainable enterprise that creates jobs.
When you join Ubuntu, they give you empowerment. You can learn more when you are there. There is chances to get more empowered. They don't just go outside to fight those people who have degrees. But if you have But if you show interest of doing more in Ubuntu, they give you that chance. So we can congratulate our director and our executive director for giving me that chance.
During the event, the main producer for Able Differently, Jacqueline Lidubwe, had the opportunity to give her speech on her interaction with persons with disabilities.
We need to provide our children with special needs hope. Their lives matter. Every child should have things to look forward for and achievements to point with pride and joy. Every child has something to contribute to our society. This is to all of us here. We can do something to make these children with disability live a very hopeful and very fulfilling life. One way of doing this is by supporting Ubuntu Foundation. Let us all volunteer to support a child. Let us adopt a child. Let us mentor a child. We can do this, good people. I've seen parents here with children with special needs. Can you stand up? Or can you just wave wherever you are, parents with children with special needs? I just have one message for you. Thank you all and God bless you.
Who has white number 5? Yeah? And Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons. So Father Abraham, I am one of them, and so are you. So let us praise the Lord. Right foot, left foot. Many sons. So Father.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Bryan Mwambuki lost his sight under a very unexpected circumstance. However, he did not let his condition define him. Take a look at his story.
Meet Bryan Mwambuki, a student at Kepha.
I am Bryan Mwambuki Muhandale, an adult living with a disability that is acquired.
It was just last year when Mwambuki lost his vision under very unexpected circumstances.
I lost my sight last year on January 4th. I come from Gahumbwa village of Sabatia, Vihiga County.
It was a normal day for Mwambuki. He woke up and went about his business as usual, but on arrival at his workplace, things took a dramatic turn.
That remains the saddest day the saddest thing that ever happened to me. It was a normal day. The previous day, I had a normal day. I did my activities as usual. I retired to bed at 9. I woke up in the morning, prepared myself to go to my place of work. Normal. I was seeing everything was just normal. Then I left. I went to my place of work, and when I reached the gate, something interesting happened. I noted that things turned yellow. I could see, but everything was yellow.
Mwambuki had posted best results that year while his colleagues were busy congratulating him. He was slowly losing his sight.
A colleague came to me and told me, "Hey, you've done well. Your students have done well. The results are out. You need to look at your column. Have you seen the results?" I told them, "No, I've not seen the results. I've just arrived now." Told me, go and pick the results." I went, picked the results. I picked them, and that was the end of my seeing.
Still in shock, he contemplated going back home, but as sure as rain, his boss would have none of it, and straight to the hospital they went.
I went to Sabatia Eye Hospital. I was admitted immediately. Then they told me that there's a certain drug that would resuscitate my eyes, and that drug was to be given intravenously. Unfortunately, they hadn't stocked it, so I had to buy it.
His father had dropped everything and rushed to the hospital in disbelief.
My dad came immediately, and in slippers. That time, he's a farmer. He was picking tea. He was in the tea bushes. When the call came in, he left everything the way he was. You know, when you go to the tea bushes, you put on some not so good clothes because of those sticks and other things. He just came the way he was.
Although Mwambuki remained hopeful through the trying times, the day the results came out brought sorrow instead of happiness.
I started thinking that now, the way things are happening, the first drug did not work. I've gone for tests. The tests are not revealing much. And here is the doctor telling me that, in fact, he used these words, "Bryan, I am puzzled." So this is a man who's supposed to be unpuzzling things. He's telling me he's puzzled. So I felt some hopelessness in my heart.
Although he had a supportive family, the father of one had to be brave enough to face challenges that awaited him. His son had a difficult time understanding what was happening.
I could hear his voice, because this is a new situation for all of us. I could hear his voice. Says, "Daddy, Daddy." Then I asked, "Hey, brilliant, where are you?" My boy cried. He cried and cried because he didn't expect the dad to ask him, "Where are you?" Because for him, he's seeing me and he's expecting that I'm seeing him. So I should not be asking him, "Where are you?"
At Kepha, Mwambuki has with time adjusted well and found it friendly.
When I reached Kepha, I found very friendly people, starting with our head of department, who is also visually impaired. She's totally blind. Then we also have even lecturers who are also visually impaired. We have a lecturer called Zachary, who is blind, has been blind from childhood. He's one of our lecturers. So I found people who are very friendly. Then the culture of Kise was very supportive.
Lucky for him, he still has his job and on payroll as he undergoes rehabilitation.
I am still having my job, but I really fear what will happen when I'm through with the course and I'm supposed to go back. How I just wish maybe my employer would send me to the office or somewhere else. But if it comes that I have to go back to class, then I will.
Mwambuki had big dreams. He was working towards becoming a professor, a dream that currently he is unsure of.
I have always dreamt of being a professor. I've always wanted to be a professor all my life. I went to one of the best schools in Kenya. I excelled. I went to Maseno University. I scored a first-class honors. So I always wanted to be a professor, and I was working in that direction until this disability caught up with me.
They say disability is a club that has no membership fee, is one joins free of charge. Mwambuki had some encouraging piece of advice.
We, the people with disabilities, wish to be empowered economically so that we don't just become a burden. You know, the society looks negatively at people with a disability, sometimes because of the dependence on them. So if we could be helped in one way or the other, if we could get those skills that can make us independent so that we support ourselves and we also support those around us, and also just empower the society at large.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Currently, the number of persons with disabilities is estimated to be 6.5 million in Kenya. The National Council for Persons with Disabilities, NCPWD, was established by an Act of Parliament to ensure the well-being of persons with disabilities.
We urgently want the board in place. Persons with Disabilities Act number 14 of 2003, the Constitution and the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities seek to promote and protect the rights of persons with disabilities in Kenya, and to ensure the equitable and effective participation and inclusion in Kenyan society at all levels.
However, there has been lack of some operations at the council, leading to inefficiency in service delivery due to absence of the council's board.
In the Big Four agenda, healthcare delivery and public transport services are also still not accessible to this vulnerable group. Persons with hearing impairments, the deaf, most of the time spent the whole day at health facilities without accessing the services due to communication barriers. Persons with physical disabilities, like myself, are mostly denied access to matatu transport or are forced to pay for 2 or more seats for their walking aids, wheelchairs, or guides.
It is for this reason that the disability organization Caucus held a press briefing to call on the immediate formation and gazettement of the board of directors to save the lives of persons with disabilities.
We hereby resolve to demand the following. We want the gazettement to take place with immediate effect. The face of Kenya, regional balance, gender balance, and ability to serve in the board must be embraced in the appointment of the board of directors of National Council for Persons with Disabilities. We give government, through Ministry of Labor, Social Security and Services, 7 days ultimatum to gazette the board, failure to which all persons with disabilities in Kenya will come out to demand for their rights. and it will not be business as usual nationwide.
They expressed disappointment that despite the fact that the president had issued a directive to have the board constituted, nothing has been done so far.
Disability Organizations Caucus, DOC, therefore, inform the public and persons with disabilities at large that we have written a letter, an open letter to the president, and copied the cabinet secretary and the principal secretary of the ministry concerned with our issue. And we await the actions in a matter of 7 days.
It is their hope that the respective bodies will hear their call and act as soon as possible.
The board should ensure that the annual budget of the Council, of National Council for Persons with Disabilities, it's increased from 1.8 to 2.8 billion in order to meet the need of over 6.5 million persons with disabilities nationally. It should ensure that Council assist graduate people with disabilities secure jobs through placements or initiatives that create employment. It should also, the board members should also make sure that equal distribution of the resources of the council is done nationally.
Let's take a look at the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability.
The UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities states that state parties recognize the rights of persons with disabilities to work on an equal basis with others. This includes the right to the opportunity to gain a living by work freely chosen or accepted in a labor market and work environment that is open, inclusive and accessible to persons with disabilities.
That's all we had for you today. See you again next week, same time, same place.
Remember that you can send in your comments to the number 22162 starting with the capital letters AD. I am Caxton Osozi.
And I'm Jane Theuri.
Goodbye.